Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Lionel the Builder back again with another video. And today we're going to talk about the age old 2025 question with AI coming in, with the tech market being crazy, with AI taking your jobs, DeepSeek, OpenAI. Should you learn to code? Is it worth it? You want to break into tech? Should you learn to code? I'm going to talk from experience as somebody who has been in this industry now for about 3 years. I've worked for two different startups. One is a CTO, one is a full stack dev. I lead the digital builders where we freelance and do software services, digital marketing, all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm also working on other roles and all sorts of other stuff. So I think I'm a perfect person to answer this question because while I was learning to code, ChatGPT was literally just coming out. And I can tell you, I know how y'all are, right? If you're going through a course right now, if you're in college, you're a computer science student, if you're trying to learn how to code, they're asking you this complex stuff that is taking your brain power. How do I do this leet code, reverse binary tree, function, for loop, whatever it is that you're trying to learn? It is so difficult not to just copy that and paste it into ChatGPT and get the answer and keep it moving, right? And there's so many people on YouTube who tell you to do that. I'm guilty as being one of them. I've had podcasts, even where I talk about this. And I just want to let you guys know it's a balancing act, man. And nobody knows for certain. But one thing is for certain that if you don't know your stuff, you will be weaker in terms of your job. Some people go as far as to say delete ChatGPT when you're learning how to code so that you're fully capable and can stand out on your own. I think that's a little bit extreme because everybody that I have seen code nowadays has that tab open and it runs through either before or after. Their code is running through some form of AI to help them. But the ones who learned how to code before this stuff came about are the ones who are higher up and are more knowledgeable. Because where AI currently is, it's going to lead you to an error. Even if you're using cursory AI, where it's scanning the entire repository before telling you, what to do, still you're going to get error messages. So if I could go back, because I definitely Googled my ass off to get through my certifications. So I had an idea when I was learning to code that I was just gonna be an AI coder, a coder of the future who just Googles ChatGPT and makes it work. And when I tell you that I waste so much time and things are so much more difficult than me, than when some of my friends who learned how to code before this stuff can just hop in and point, dude, this is the problem. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this when that is there? Something that ChatGPT don't see, even with Cursor AI. Maybe in the future we will come to a point where you can be a true AI coder and it won't matter at all. But where it is at right now, you need to know your stuff. You need to read documentation. You need to not Google your way through every single question in whatever course it is. But so I'd want to say yes. Long story short, yes, learn to code, but don't be afraid to use AI. So you definitely have to keep in mind the balancing act because what you think that you're going to be using to be more productive is in the end going to slow you down. People who have tried this, I'm sure, can vouch for me of the infinite loop where ChatGPT, you'll be solving a problem, but then even if down the line, 3 prompts in the future, the code that it gives you could erase the code from the past. And then now you're getting another error. This has literally happened to me before, where now I'm looking at my code base and I don't know what anything means. And I'm trying to ChatGPT my way through it and I'm just stuck in a rut, right? Where because my knowledge is not there yet, I honestly think I need to go back and take some courses. But luckily for me personally, I have more of like a leadership role now where I'm like, so it all depends on your goals, right? My thing was as a goal, what I have is I want to be able to build any kind of software, right? And be like some crazy super developer. I thought it was going to come through myself. But me personally, I noticed that the way that I am most productive is gathering the developers, holding the meetings, planning the sprints, project managing. It's more of a higher level thing, which then in terms allows me to be more productive because one person's working on the front end, one person's working on the back end, one person is working on this or that. And while it's like I may not be the one who can hop in and solve the problem, I can lead the team in a way. And that makes me hit my goals of being a digital builder at my most efficient because there's so many people in the world who do not know how to get the clients and who do not have the network to get the clients, but have all of the talent and all of the skill. And so, we have formed our team in order to do this, right? So I'm like the leader of the team, but still, like for the rest of my life, I'm always going to want to be a better coder when I have the time. The only thing is just like, man, it's just so hard with time these days, man. I also have a family. I'm also an event organizer. We're planning a hackathon. We're planning like all sorts of different stuff in this building. And I also have to meet with the clients. I'm constantly in meetings, meeting with clients, meeting with sponsors, trying to get funded, also tapping in with the team, planning the sprints, on all of the various different projects that I'm working on. Where do I have time to study how to write a better algorithm or a better, whatever, when my team can literally handle that? The ones who don't have to worry about all of this other stuff. So that's me personally. So it all depends on your goal. If your goal is to work for a company and you want to be competent, you want to be able to stand on your own, you want to be able to pass a technical interview, you want to be able to do all of that stuff, yes, you should, but the dangerous effect of that, just being fully transparent and trying to reach all of the issues that we're dealing with in its current landscape, the problem with that is that the job market is trash right now. If you try to apply, if you spend all of your time becoming super competent, you may not have had enough time to network right, and you're not going to get hired. You're not going to get into a role unless you know somebody, right? Or unless you have some type of network and have made a name for yourself as a person who can accomplish that mission, right? So you have a lot of different problems to deal with. If you're a new person trying to break in, you have to find the time to learn how to code without relying on ChatGPT, but then you have to be ready to use ChatGPT when it's going to actually help you and when it's going to assist in your coding, but enough foundational aspect to be able to catch it when it's going to lead you in the wrong direction. You have to handle that. But then you also have to make time to network. But I'm going to say, yes, man, of course you should. This is a technical world we live in. It's a technical society of the future, and it's only going to get more technical. And in the future, when ChatGPT can get its stuff together, when Cursor AI is integrated perfectly, of course it's going to eventually do it. Think about how video games first started off, bro. We're in the like Atari age of AI when it comes to coding. So, yes, if you're I believe if you really wanted to work in the tech and because of AI and the job market being bad, you're going to decide to not work in tech, I think that is a big mistake, right? The job market is cooked. Don't get me wrong. But there are plenty of opportunities for a person with soft skills. So get your soft skills up, my brothers. Get your networking up. Start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, man. Why not, bro? Why not? This channel and doing podcasts and throwing events has done more for my software engineer career than anything else. The applications that I have filled out and submitted to jobs on Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever you want to notice, I have never been hired for that stuff. I've always been hired and given opportunities along the lines of someone whose hand I shook at something or someone who saw my YouTube channel. Well, after the initial handshake, they see my YouTube channel, it goes that way. But I know that I am a good communicator in that way, right? So I have the soft skills that you're going to need to get hired. I know how to find jobs. I know how to find clients. I know how to find opportunities. You have to have that side of it, or else don't get into coding, right? Or else you're probably cooked, honestly. But unless you're just going to build something for yourself, you could build your own job. You can build your own software. You have an idea for an app while you're working, whatever. You learn to code, you learn how to use AI, you build your own thing and you start getting customers. That's a very, very much well thing that can happen. And then you never know who you meet that needs that services. So if you're a technical person, you're a nerd who enjoys opening up terminal and doing commands and stuff like that. Yes, stick with it, stick to it. Don't get it twisted. Don't believe the hype. Don't watch tech lead videos. You know what I mean? You 100% should do it, but keep everything in mind. It's not going to be easy. ChatGPT can mess you up and trap you in an infinite loop of errors and resolving them, and make what would have only taken 30 minutes if you read the documentation. What would have only taken 30 minutes will take you 5 hours. You know what I mean? And you're not even going to figure it out until you finally go read something else. And then you find what the real issue is, right? And when you're talking about a program where you got all these packages, node modules, dependencies, and all of this other extra stuff, if you don't know what you're doing, bro, it's not going to work out. Trust me. You're going to need help. I need help to build stuff. You know what I'm saying? It is difficult. Building software is very, 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 very difficult. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done. And I've done a lot of things, in my life. So if you are really built for this and you really asked for this, you got to understand what you're getting yourself into. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you're wasting your time because you're just so set on applying for something on LinkedIn and actually getting hired. If that's your only way of getting a job, then don't do it. All right. But if you're willing to either build stuff on your own and be happy with that, or put yourself out there and network, then yes, you should learn to code. And you're preparing for a future world where AI is going to be able, we just got to steer it, you know what I'm saying, in the future. That's most likely where we're headed due to the law of advancement. I don't know. You know what I mean? But seriously, like, yeah, it's tricky. It's a very tricky thing. We're not the lucky ones yet who don't need to know their stuff and can just speak to this thing in English and it's going to build. So if you're learning how to code, it's difficult. Yes. If you're looking for videos telling you to not learn how to code because you hit some error screens and now you're frustrated or you feel like you're wasting your time, hey, I'm not going to get hired anyway, then, you don't have the right mental yet so you probably shouldn't. You probably be wasting your time. But I think I touched most of the things I wanted to touch, man. I know I started probably rambling a little bit there, and I peeped myself going in circles. So I'm going to wrap it up. Links in the description, man. Join the Discord. Please follow this channel. I have a new podcast called Surviving Tech, where I'm finding people who are working in tech and I'm getting their story. So we're learning from them, how they did it, how we can, duplicate. And man, I have a lot of stuff planned for you guys this year, bro. I have a lot of stuff going on personally with the business that we're growing here at the Digital Builders. Join the Discord. We have a lot of stuff planned. Man, it's YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, all that. I'm Lionel the Builder. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.